And now the circle has started El Pollo to El Azhar. I butchered it.
Is it El Pollo or El Pozo?
Oh yeah, it's El Pozo actually. Yeah, Pollo is chicken.
Oh yeah,
Pollo is chicken. Yeah, remember Blair corrected us at PMS. Anyway, never mind. We've got Mega going all the way to the south, and of course Team 14 Fourier going to La Cobiera. I am butchering all these names.
No, you got that right. I mean, these are some really hard names to pronounce. I mean, if you watch a lot of Spanish shows and if you watch some Breaking Bad, then probably you know exactly what El Pollo means, and you might not. You might also know how to pronounce these names. But speaking of the rest of the teams, we have two very safe approaches from Team Fourier, who have taken a little bit of split approach. We have Nutty Boy away from his team, Mega on Mount Nuo. None of the teams in Los Leones, and pretty much all the teams are out of the circle as it pops. Team Ecstasy heading towards Torre Ahumada, M40 and El Hazza. None of the teams have taken Impala, which is surprising as well. And San Martin seems to be a hotspot because Team GODLIKE and Team Fnatic are really close by, as well as pretty much every other team will have to come somewhere near San Martin and the edges of Power Grid in order to get into the circle over there. So this is going to be a northern circle edge bloodbath.
Yeah, I got to give it to Mayhem. Already sort of centrally positioned, most likely going to push south as much as they can. These teams understand, especially Mayhem, seems to understand positional placement, and they really get the zone prediction right most of the time. And we already got some early fights in pistol fights between Team Intense, Ryder versus Villain from Lcraft. Oh my god, Villain does not win that fight as Ryder puts him out of his misery. That has to be a horrible way to finish your third game of the day, Crips.
Yeah. I mean, that's a horrible start as well. It's fair that both of them had pistols, but if you look at the rest of the players of Team Intense, they are mostly naked. They don't even have any armor. We saw one player, I don't remember what his name was. He was up on the stream for a second, had absolutely nothing to work with. But these guys have taken their position near the mines, which is a very unpredictable terrain. And if they split up over here, they will be able to surprise the hell out of anyone who comes close to them.
Yes, indeed, they will. Team Intense, crowd favorite, hasn't managed to do much so far.
I mean, the obvious crowd favorites, Fnatic, also haven't managed to do much.
This has been a pretty disappointing day for PUBG Mobile fans all over India. Like, you'd expect all these top teams sponsored by orgs and brands to actually, kick ass and do something out there. But hey, man, it's like it looks like at least in this group stage, the teams that are not necessarily sponsored are also like performing okay, with Mayhem as an exception.
That's the beauty of PUBG Mobile, right? I mean, you never know when somebody who has never been heard of before will shine. And that's exactly how deeply entrenched this game is in this country, because you can have stars coming from anywhere.
In the meanwhile, I'm trying to switch off Siri on my iPhone so that my phone doesn't ring off. Because whenever I say Team Intense, Siri seems to wake up and say, hey, how can I help you?
Huh? Okay. Seems like Siri likes Team Intense, just like pretty much everybody else in the country does. But if you look at the way Scout is biking right now, he's heading over towards the southern part of the map where hardly anybody is present.
There is an interesting question in the chat, which I'd like to pose to you. Which team are you betting on for day 2 of the group stages?
I mean, at this point, I will obviously see... but I'm going to hold my thought for a bit, because Ronak was just knocked out by one of the players from Team Mega. And Ronak was on the bike.
Oh, and Ronak is dead! He's roadkill! What a fitting end. Not fitting end, that's just mean. What a terrible end to Ronak. Oh my god, Ronak, we are so sad. We are very sad. Mega are going to be feeling pretty good about themselves. Holy shit, that has to be a clip. That has to be a clip. Crips.
That's what you see. I mean, I spoke about this yesterday as well. A lot of teams in Miramar just put all 4 of their players in 4 different cars and they just keep roaming around. Usually you see 2 people in one car or 3 people in one car. That's not what Miramar is all about, because there's hardly any cover on this map, right? So you need to have vehicle control much more than anything else. Vehicles are more important than good rotations, technically, because you need vehicles to rotate as well. It's a huge map. You can't get everywhere on foot. Sure. But as I say that, Sonic is trying to run over Ryder. He barely misses, crashes into the tree. Ryder has a chance to finish him off, but both of them end up trading each other. Sonic gets one, and Poppy, he's backing away from the fight. Doesn't want to help his teammates. This is a bit of a problem as Zal is trying to shoot people down from far away. Sonic has no backup next to him whatsoever, and Intense should be able to revive Ryder without any difficulties at all.
Team Intense, the pride of Kerala, trying to get that last kill on Sonic and get Ryder up. Looks like this is a team that's now feeling a little warmed up, and hopefully, we'll see some more action from them.
Yep. It's rare to see Team Intense start off in such a great way. Didn't have a good start in Erangel, but in Miramar, sure, there are kills going their way. Meanwhile, Team Hype, they were scouting out Team VSGCrawlers in the previous game around the Trifecta compound Sandhawk. This time they lose one of the players early and they are going to be going for an early rotate. Fnatic at the edges, very far away from the action, have nothing else to worry about. Lcraft approaching Los Leones. Meanwhile, Mayhem have already taken control of Los Leones. Even Mega is nearby. Meanwhile, surprisingly, a lot of teams are not near the northern edges. GODLIKE taking a longer road away from San Martin, and it seems like they will be taking they will be taking a best in entry. Meanwhile, Team Hype, IM and Go, they are all safe. They are within distance of each other, but they won't be interacting just yet. Team Ecstasy, though, still taking away in the blue zone.
Yeah, Team Elements still looting up, and a team that has actually shown us that survivability is very important. A team that hasn't been getting a lot of kills, but clearly placing third, fourth, and it has worked out for them with one player in their team always surviving. And here we go. We've got GODLIKE, the gods of aggression. Hopefully, we'll actually see them place in the top 10 situation because all they're doing is pushing and dying.
Yeah, and this time they're taking a safer approach. You can see they're in the blue, and they don't want to take any fights in this game whatsoever. They just... Okay, wait a second. Team Fourier... I keep messing up their name.
Fourier.
Team Fourier is right behind them, and they are also driving into the blue. Both of these teams want to avoid fights whatsoever. We have Team Ecstasy just getting into the circle right now. Close behind them, Supergirls are also trying to make their way into the safe zone, and a lot of teams are accumulated on the eastern banks. We have Team Go, Team IM, and I think VSGCrawlers just battling for the control of Impala. And all of them will now have to move in towards the circle. Element, though, they've taken central position near Pendita. Now, Pendita is a real important place. They have cover in all four directions. You hold this town down, and nobody can get you out of it. It's hardly any problem for you.
Team Geo and Team VSG fighting each other as Zoro going for the third-person peek. He's waiting. He's biding his time. He's trying. Oh, and that nade takes out a lot of his health. Zoro needs to do something really quick as Void gets knocked. It is up to Zoro and his teammates to convert this, to get a trade as they are fighting for this compound. VSG Zoro has the third-person rifle. He's spraying. He does. He gets the spray, but does not manage to convert it. Oh, but he gets dropped by Avi. By Avi.
He jumped out of the building, surprised the hell out of them.
Yeah, Avi thirsts Zoro, and it is a 3v2 situation. This is not looking for Team Go as they drop like flies one by one. Fang knocked and crawling away. All these guys have to do is make sure that they find that last fourth player, Viper, as Viper stays away. Viper needs to rethink the situation. It doesn't make sense for him to go for Fang.
But you look at the way how VSGCrawlers handled it. They were sure that Go is just on the edges of that house and they for the third-person peek. But when they least expected it, they jumped out and Abi got the knock onto one of the players. And VSGCrawlers took the long way around, went on the right side of the house to get the kill onto Fang as well. And Viper, he was just too far away from the action. There was no way he could have saved his teammates. He doesn't even have a vehicle to get into the safe zone, so there is a small chance that maybe VSGCrawlers can get to him soon enough and run him over with the vehicle.
Just to interrupt you, unfortunately, we missed it, but GODLIKE got a kill on a Fourier player, and in the meanwhile, they run over Fang just to make a point. VSG, ruthless and savage. Back to Mayhem Shadow on the screen right here, moving to the safe zone, just making sure that they have position. And GODLIKE finishing off Naughty Boy, another Fourier player. What is happening? Did the Fourier team get split up, and did GODLIKE actually spray them down?
Well, we saw them a couple of minutes ago. GODLIKE in the blue zone was driving along the highway. Team Fourier was right behind them, where I struggled to say their name, and it seems like they caught up with them. Element taking control of the players of M40. They got 2 knocks, and this is a bit of a concern as Rival is far away from his teammates. All 3 of them knocked, and Elements, even though they have only 2 players in the vicinity, are able to make things work. Now, as they try to push in to finish them off, maybe Rival can maybe at least get a couple of kills. He definitely won't be able to save them, but Lucas is up and he's ready to strike. There's only 1 player still knocked out. The others have just managed to revive themselves in time and get ready for the fight. Rival taking another position, flanking them from the other side of the hill, where they won't be able to spot them, as Element and Gubber take third-person positions and are waiting for M40 to take the first fight. All of them inside the house, none of them willing to move out. But the
Alright, we've got M40 in a 4v2 situation as Ruthless drops to Gubber, and Frost trying to get an angle, and Ultron back in the game. Rival dealing with Ultron all the way outside as Carnage needs to make a decision here. He needs to go ahead and help his teammate. Frost knocking rival. This is not looking good for M40 as they are dropping like flies. One player left for M40 and unfortunately they are out. Gubber finishing Carnage and Frost finishing Rival, and finally Frost killing Nexus OP. What a push from Team Element. I was actually looking for the rest of the team. I could not see them. And they just came out of nowhere like the cavalry scene from Lord of the Rings.
The cavalry definitely has arrived, and Elements riding on their high horses. Not Elements, whatever. I messed up over there because I was looking at Elements in the radar. They finally left La Bandita after looting one of the airdrops and are making their way into the circle. VSGCrawlers also heading hot into Los Leones. Hype have already arrived somehow without taking any damage from any of the teams nearby, and Los Leones, the only city in the circle, will now become a hot zone for a lot of action. Grows are unclaimed. Nobody has come for this inside La Bandita, so I was wrong. They did not, in fact, loot up that airdrop. They just went in without looting it. They left La Bandita, and Elements are on the move without looting that delicious bounty.
Yeah, we've got Mayhem on the screen right now, and these guys are in a very good position, very centrally placed. It's so nice to see Mayhem play today, as they've really consistently gotten kills, played position well, and Element, with the beautiful nade on Unreal, an unreal nade. He did not see that coming, as Team Ecstasy needs to worry about their teammate Frost playing down with that 6x. It is hard to spray at that distance, but he tried to anyway. Nashtik and Sahil are like, you know what, Unreal, we will see you in the next game, as Ultron thirsts him and waits for the fire to dissipate as he loots his body. Team Element, what do you think, Crips? They seem to be on fire.
Well, they are on, at least in this game. Let's see if they can manage to continue doing the same amount of damage throughout the rest of the game as the play zone continues to shrink. Now, we do have Team Intense, who will have to make their way in and fight off a couple of players from Team Fourier, who lost a couple of players in an early fight with Godlike. Keep in mind that Fourier are now down to their last two players. It's going to be a problem for them to hold on to this fight as Intense tries to push in, and one of them already hits the ground. Nice. They are starting to fight, and they probably will finish him off as well. One player remaining lone from Team Fourier. But look at the circle rotation. It's devastating.
Yeah,
all of Los Leones is out of the circle.
We've got a good circle for Mayhem and VSG and Team Element. That's good for them. But where is the rest of the teams? We've got Fnatic slowly moving in from the southeast and Team Ecstasy from the east. Whereas we've got so many teams. We've got Supergirls all the way out at the far end. It's going to be an interesting rotation space where we see all these teams sniping each other. Mega from the west. And of course, Fourier and Team Intense need to make a decision here. Should we stay back and fight this one guy, Jas OP, or should we just move into the circle? Meanwhile, we've got Icky Mafia, Team 7, also slowly moving into the circle. And Team 10, Team Go, not wanting to mess with Supergirls. Viper TY, the last remaining team member of Team Go, driving slowly and carefully behind Supergirls. Really unfortunate what happened to them.
I still don't know how Supergirls had 0 placement points in the previous game. They even connected the server.
I think there might have been an issue with the standings, but I'm sure that will be rectified moving forward. We're now looking at Team Ecstasy, Sahil 2K, a player that has been getting a couple of decent knocks and a lot of kill steals. Fnatic, Scout OP has an angle on them. He takes a little peek, and let's see what Fnatic does here. We've got 3 players in Fnatic. Oh, in the meantime, Gubber knocking down Riddhi from Supergirls. Ultron killing Riddhi from Supergirls. And Gubber finished knocking Amisha. Team Elements is making quick work of Supergirls on the screen. Where is Roach from VSG also chiming in to take out Supergirls out of the game?
Stealing the kills away from his opponents. VSGCrawlers once again continue the third party. While I say that, Nashtik, it seems like he has spotted a couple of players from Fnatic, but Fnatic are moving along to the other side of the hill. And out goes Supergirls. Down in 15th place. They just walked into an ambush with multiple teams waiting for them.
It is the rotation phase, and Satan's spraying down Lcraft Exotic. It is the rotation phase, and a lot of these teams are going to run into trouble with the teams that have already established themselves in the safe zone. Let's see what Fnatic does. As Fnatic also, Oasis has an angle on Lcraft, and Lcraft is in a bad position as always shoots lead right at him, does a little bit of damage. And but Oasis also gets a little bit traded. It is up to Fnatic. If they can actually eliminate Lcraft, they will be in a good position. Intense, meanwhile, knocking Mega's player encore in the kill feed. What is Fnatic going to do here, Crips?
I think Fnatic just need to hold on to their horses. They have information on 2 teams, which is great from them. They don't necessarily need to take fights, but if they do, it's not like they're doing anything wrong. Safe inside the zone. Mayhem over here will be the team that I will want to personally look at. Team Go, Viper already getting into the circle, but while I say that, the fight between Hype breaks out, and GODLIKE is the one he's fighting with. I am close behind so that they can third party, but
yeah,
I think GODLIKE will finally be able to show us exactly what they're made of in this one.
Yeah, we've not really seen a lot of placement from GODLIKE, and the circle has changed, and it is looking good for Mayhem, as they also have a beautiful drop right next to them. It looks like this is Mayhem's day, as they are in the same position. Poppy even playing down Carry's situation, but he's not really like connecting with Carry.
I mean,
Ash, look at Ash go as they whittle down Lcraft. Fnatic has committed to this fight, and they do want to take care of Lcraft and get those kills. Poppy, in the meanwhile, see that GODLIKE's rotating. Ash back to spraying down, and he gets the explosive kill on Noob, and he gets another explosion on them. This is not looking good for Lcraft, as Fnatic is putting the pressure on them. And we've got a beautiful AWM right in the center of the screen here. Lcraft, Exotic. What is he going to do here, Crips?
I think he's just going to have to create a wall of smokes and get to the edges of those mountains so that he can have some cover. Element, they are riding right into the trap, and Hype, they have to fight with Aztec at the same time as well. Things are getting intense as VSGCrawlers also step into the fray. Meanwhile, Fnatic are safe, and they will continue focusing upon Lcraft to get peppered down. Two of the players down. Exotic, the only man left who can save them. And as I say that, Lcraft will go down. Caster's Curse becomes real. Fnatic, they had a lot of risky plays in this one as they were fighting two teams, but they managed to isolate them and many of them down.
Team Intense also eliminated in the kill feed, whereas Icky Mafia also getting a couple of knocks, and we finally see the Team Element knocking Team Intense out of the equation. Oh, what a beautiful nade from Mahesh, that double nade. Oh, but Mahesh gets traded, and Team Hype is out as well. Aztec still pretty much in the game, licking their wounds as Icky Mafia going for the push through the smoke. Oh my god, Cloak managing to get a knock on Pain as Icky Mafia needs to make their way into that building right over there with GODLIKE holding it. This is not looking good for Icky Mafia. If they can get their fourth player back in, they have a good chance of maybe winning this game. Aztec, the hill advantage right there.
You know what? GODLIKE had a tough time because they have been struggling with positions, but this time they have a brilliant position, and they have Icky Mafia right on the back. And as Icky busy fighting off Team Aztec, I think GODLIKE might want to take this chance and go ahead to finish them. The next circle is about to pop, and we will see which one of these teams will be able to come out on top. Mayhem continue to get a lot of kills. They're already up by on points, and they might just get even higher, out of the reach of anyone else.
Yeah, Mayhem actually causing Mayhem, taking out Mega, taking out Team Aztec. They're doing a lot of damage on two different fronts, fighting on two different fronts. You gotta say that is skill right there. That is skill, confidence, aggression. I mean, these guys are here to win. These guys know they're the best, and they've been having the best couple of games this last two games. Meanwhile, Shadow has spotted Team Element. He gets to spray down with the 3x M4, knocking Prince. Ultron trying to find where Shadow is as Shadow changes position, trying to get an angle on another team member of Team Element. Meanwhile, Fnatic getting into the fight with VSG.
Well, you know what? Element was the team who had a great position, but this time, as they try to rotate, they will be getting off guard. But Element continue to fight with VSGCrawlers as Ash want to take this chance, and third party into the fight with VSGCrawlers, along with Elements on the side. MYM also stepping into the fray as Cloak tries to flank them from the other side, but he also has an obligation to revive his teammates. GODLIKE right in the same compound with Icky Mafia. They haven't exchanged bullets yet. I'm actually surprised that's happening. And finally, Team Go bite the dust as they were up on the high rounds. They will be sniped away by Team Mayhem. Once again, they have the high ground advantage, and he manages to get the spray onto Mighty. Somehow survives, but he gets sprayed. How on earth? Icky Mafia, Pain stepping into the fray to save his teammates, as once again, Mayhem will be kept in check so that they can't steal any more kills. Element have one players down. Fnatic, they were fighting with them ahead, but it seems like they've taken a brief hiatus. Somehow GODLIKE are still hiding and biding their time. We haven't seen a lot of action from GODLIKE, even though they were dangerously close to Icky Mafia.
They don't have to, right? They're in a good position. They're trying to play the position here as Carry is dangerously close to VSG. We've got Mayhem topping the leaderboards right now with 6 points, with 4 players, and Icky Mafia also with 4 players, with Fnatic 3 players. And here we go, Carry going. Oh, but Carry does not connect, and he pays the ultimate price. It is up to Smokey to get GODLIKE the position, but Mayhem dangerously on that ridge. Megastars eliminated, and rightly said, Mayhem believes Spot Smokey with his mini 14 and his mark. We've got Shadow spraying on Zeref as well as he sprays him down. Oh my god, there's knocks left, right, and center. Mayhem spraying down Team Elements and having to revive Shadow again.
Mayhem have the best position.
Icky Mafia with that trade. What a beautiful trade.
Exactly, a lovely trade. Even though Mayhem had the advantage, he somehow managed to keep them at bay and knock out Shadow so that they can somehow survive this onslaught. Fnatic, they have been in the same position since a very long time, and it seems like they will finally get the eyes onto the last remaining players of VSGCrawlers, and they will knock him out. Ash finishes him off. somehow Elements have been avoiding a lot of fights, but they've been third-partying. That's why they have 13 kills already. Mayhem still up on the high ground, have all 4 other players now online. And if things work out for them, if the zone doesn't screw them over, a lot of these teams will have to come up the hill and they have to fight Mayhem on the way in, which is going to be extremely difficult. Icky Mafia, they're going to have to rotate around the left-hand side. The slope is tall and they will run into Fnatic on the way. Meanwhile, Mayhem, they are about to get engaged by Scout. He does manage to knock down Believe, but the Grows are dangerously close and Globe is coming in to revive him. He should be able to finish him off too. The explosion goes off and Gubber actually steals the kill away from them. He gets a double kill with that nade. How on earth did he steal that? He tricked Fnatic Scout and they eliminated Mayhem. That was the team that has the highest amount of advantage, but now they're out of the fight. The contest got real. And Icky Mafia now engaged with Fnatic at the edges of the slope. Somehow, Element are still not in the fight just yet, and they're hiding on the other side. 3 teams with 3 players each.
Oh my god, Fnatic now proving their mettle, proving that they are one of the best teams in the country, if not the best. Ash getting a knock on Ultron. As Ash finishes Ultron, Fnatic always getting a knock on Frost. Team Element is not in their element as Scout OP also knocks out Frost with his Groza. Oh my god, Fnatic on fire here. Awais is really low as Scout OP gets knocked. It is up to Icky Mafia. If they can do this, it is Icky Mafia versus Fnatic. Will Fnatic get their vengeance from that Erangel knockout? It is Pain, Neo, Mighty versus Ash, Scout OP and Awais 3v3 here in Miramar. What's going to happen, Crips? What do you think?
I think Fnatic finally have their shot at redemption. Icky Mafia, they're just around the edges of the cliff. They do not want to go ahead and take any fights right now. They're hoping that Fnatic make a mistake to blow up the car, which means they were hoping to get Ash in an explosion kill, but not going to happen. As game comes to a stalemate, both these teams need to take the time to evaluate what's going on. This hill is about to turn into one of the best fights that we probably will see in the entire tournament.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, get your clips ready because this is going to be a clip to remember. We've got 2 great teams facing off with each other in Miramar. The nades start flying. It is Nade Valley season. Or did I get that wrong? Did he not throw it? Yeah, he threw smokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But look at Scout.
Oh, Scout OP overextending and Pain very close to Scout. He's going to go for the thirst. Yep. No, he doesn't go for the thirst. He goes for Ash. They're going for the knocks. Oh my god, Icky Mafia eliminating Fnatic.